I am a Caucasian white.
Black. So yeah, my father is from Africa, so he's black, and my mother is white.
I am white.
I am white.
I'm Filipino.
Well, in a government form, it says Hispanic Latino.
White Polynesian. Yeah, I would say I have.
Yeah.
Like to not like an extreme degree, but like being mixed. Like it's great because you can like be part of both groups, but you can also be rejected by both groups at the same time. So I feel like I've been like, you know, I felt racisms from like other groups telling me that like, oh, Polynesians are bad. Like I've heard the slur coconut head a lot here in Utah. And then like on the other side, like Polynesians calling me like cracker, and, like stuff like that. So definitely.
My best friend is black, and we were knocking in kind of the really rich areas of Charlotte, and he got a lot of calls of, you know, people in the neighborhood started calling police, and so people were like telling us, well, it's usual, right? It's sales. People were like, get off, leave. And then the police officers came, and they all went to him. And so we had the same uniform, same everything, and like he was the one that went after. And they had 3 or 4 calls on it about a black kid walking around there. And so nothing on me, but on him.
I've definitely have gotten comments from people saying that my English is good.
Yeah, something to make fun of sometimes. You know, like the whole like, I'm from the South, I'm white, so obviously I'm a conservative racist to everyone else's eyes. It's just something fun to joke around about. I don't take myself seriously.
It depends, but not very often.
Pretty much never.
I don't feel like it ever really comes up.
Never.
Daily? Yeah. I feel like it comes up just because I have a weird last name.
Probably like every other day. Like I would get a question when I meet someone new. Where are you from? And I would say I'm from New York, and they're like nodding, and I know they're waiting for another answer.
Being a white woman is like does come with like privileges. Not as much as a white man, I would venture to say. But being a white woman comes with privileges. People make, for the most part, good assumptions about you. I wouldn't say it comes with privileges necessarily with like getting hired or going into schools or anything like that, but I think people generally have positive assumptions about you when you first meet them.
Yeah, being a Polynesian, I felt privileged. Like I got a scholarship for being like part Polynesian, which was like nice, affirmative action. I've never really felt privileged to be a white person, unlike the other half though.
No, I don't have any brown people scholarships. I don't have anything because of my race. I would say I've received benefits because of my social class, but not my race.
During freshman year, a big thing for me was that this guy, he commented on how I'm a girl, I'm multicultural, and I'm from New York City, which made probably acceptance in BYU a lot easier. But that was like, I think the most like offensive thing I've ever heard. Like I don't think he understood that I actually got a really like great score on my SATs and have a great GPA. But I just didn't comment on it because there's no point in convincing someone that I didn't get it because of affirmative action.
I wouldn't say I've ever felt disadvantaged. I think that with how many things have been happening recently with race and everything in the news, not so much a disadvantage, but I do feel like I have to be like hyper aware and hypersensitive towards making sure that I don't seem to come across or as like racist or bullying in any of those things because I am white, and I think that if you're white you have to be hyper conscious to make sure that you aren't perceived as racism or you're not making any comments or things that could be perceived as racist.
I don't feel disadvantaged being white because I have the Polynesian side, but I do see my like white friends being disadvantaged for not being ethnic at times. I get a lot of crap for the Polynesian scholarship. They're like, you don't deserve that. I'm like,
Like for me, that's normal, I guess.
Any different than, like, you wouldn't walk into a room of only white people and think, oh, there's only white people here. It would just be very normal.
I think happy because I haven't seen that in a long time.
That would be something that's something that almost never happens. So I'd be like, wow, that's interesting.
Being like a white girl, like I'm never the odd one out. And so it would, I guess, maybe feel like I was the one who like would be having a hard time like making a connection or fitting in.
Like African American people, yeah, like it'd feel weird, like different, like something I haven't experienced before.
Not gonna lie, I have one hanging up in my house, the Confederate flag. I'll be honest with it. I don't put it out in public. I don't try to do that because I know it can offend people. I think it's a symbol, for me at least, how I interpret it, as a symbol of my culture, my heritage. Because I had ancestors who died in fighting for the South in the Civil War. And yeah, there's some parts about the heritage that was wrong, like slavery. And I don't agree with that, but I think there's a lot of good things about it as well.
And in Arkansas, it's not a symbol of historic pride. In where I lived, it was a very racist symbol, and it was charged by that.
I feel like it's offensive. Some people say they have like freedom of speech, they can view whatever, but in my opinion, I feel like it's equal to the swastika.
I don't like the idea of erasing history. That's actually what Hitler tried to do, and what governments and kingdoms try to do every time they win. They try to erase history. So I don't like what's going on today. People trying to erase history, like take down statues and all that junk. But I don't get offended by the symbol. If someone has it in their room, I don't honestly care.
I think of slavery, like I don't feel like, when I look at that symbol, I don't think of like, I don't get angry. I think of like, maybe like hateful or like ignorant, but that's about it.
Okay, you definitely can't be colorblind for sure. We know that we're different, but I feel like when you're racist, you see those differences and you treat people differently.
I think racism is like, in a sense, just like being like introduced to a new culture and like not accepting it fully just because you don't understand it. Mm-hmm. Whereas like a racist takes that but includes hate.
I don't think it's as big as people make it sound, but I do think it is there for sure.
I guess it depends on where, but I don't think it's much of a problem anymore.
It is still a problem today. I think that it is still a problem.
I think outside of the U.S. it is.
Is that there?
Like Mexico, like if you're white colored, you have more privileges than if you're brown.
I think the older generation needs to die. I think that'll do a lot. I think it's just passed down person to person, family to family, and it's how you're raised and grow up. And there's animosity between blacks and whites in the Deep South, and rightfully so. I mean, blacks feel stepped on a lot, and they probably should feel like that. And whites sometimes have that essence of superiority, and they should not feel like that.
So I think honestly the whole trying to make people equal, like with Black Lives Matter, actually does more damage than it does, that it helps. You have like the protests in the NFL, like all these things I think are creating more divide.
You know, you could hear people say things like, oh, it came from like the founding of America, or like blah blah blah, but I think it's just basic human instinct to like always be wary or like reject other cultures.
I think it starts with education. I don't know about integrating schools or anything like that. I just think that education, teaching kids to love each other and being around each other will help. But I don't know about forcing them to go to a school 2 hours or hour away or whatever it is would help that. I don't know.
I feel like acknowledging differences is a start, and just being kind of including all those differences to like have like a community that works together.
I don't know how you could force people to be friends like with other races, but just like experiencing another race. Like before my mission, I was like, I'm honestly like pretty hesitant towards like Muslim people, and like hijabs, like the head wraps, like scared me a lot. I was like, oh my gosh, like what the heck? But as soon as like I went to, you know, Malaysia and experienced that culture, and just like actually talked with the people, like they're so nice, like some of the best people, and like I respect their religion, and like when I see a Muslim, like I don't feel scared. I'm like, oh, like that's just like another great person. Like I know about their culture, so I have something to speak with them about.